To our Active Schools Division Superintendent, Mr. Edelberto L. Oplinaria, CISO 5. To our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Rosemary T. Masisar. To our Chief Education Supervisor of SGOD, Dr. Maria Carmela T. Ablin. To our CID Chief, Dr. Maria Iva Isidon. To our SEPS Planning and Research, Mr. Bridget E. Abalorio. And to all of you, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Good morning. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. I'm Teacher Alaya Soraya G. Urgas, a Teacher 3 of Sultan Dumaob Elementary School from Puuna, Piagapo District. I'm going to present to you my completed research entitled Effectiveness of Maronko Cube Game in Enhancing Pupils' Phonological Awareness. Phonological awareness is an important element in the learning success of pupils. It is the ability to recognize and work with sounds in spoken language and is the foundation of learning to read. By understanding differences in sounds, learners are able to distinguish different words and their corresponding meaning. According to Blumert and CP 2012, Bryan et al. 2014, studies have demonstrated that phonemic awareness skills influence learners' broader academic success throughout most of their schooling. This is why learners taught phonemic awareness at an early age. Teaching learners phonemic awareness at an early age is most effective since it will help them to understand more words that are difficult in the years to come. Teaching phonological awareness to learners must be creative and fun. In the researchers class, there are 31 pupils whose ages ranges from 5 to 7 years old and who are struggling to learn phonemes and different words. The researcher has realized that learners with their capabilities of learning are not picking up right away words in Maranao and English, which she teaches them. Thus, she has come up with the idea of using game to build up interest among her pupils. The game or learning method called Maronko Cube. This is similar to a cube which contains in the center a big letter and with the other 5 sides having a word that begins with the same letter with its colorful illustration on it. The researcher draws the attention of the pupils by throwing the cubes and having the learners speak aloud which side or what picture or letter Maronko that faces up. The researcher first will use the letter recognition, then the CBC method, and then progresses to CBCB to allow students to internalize words, differences, and meanings. Furthermore, the researcher plans to utilize the Maronko Cube game to cover the phonemic skills that are of importance such as phoneme matching is the ability to identify words that begin with the same sounds. Phoneme isolation is the ability to isolate a sound from within a word. Phoneme blending is the ability to blend individual sounds into a word. In addition is phoneme segmentation, the ability to break a word into individual words. According to David Chard and Dixon in 2000, there is ample evidence that Phonological awareness training is beneficial for beginning readers starting as early as age 4. In a review of phonological research concluded that phonological awareness can develop before reading. Kids start by rhyming and identifying beginning sounds in words. Next comes blending spoken sounds into words and dividing words into their individual sounds. The last, the last step is learning to add, subtract, and substitute sounds to make a new words. According to Mary D. 2015, children can get many advantages when fun games are a tool used for their learning development. Children do learn more and absorb lessons quickly when they enjoy fun games and activities. Things that could develop in using fun games among children. First is the social skills. A child can well develop his social skills using the fun-filled undertakings and games activities. The reason for this is that when kids mingle with one another and play word cube games, if there are three of them playing with the same game, then each of them needs to be patient as others are taking their turn to read the word. Second is the good sportsmanship. By allowing children to play various games and engage with another, there is a greater chance to develop with high integrity. They learn how to accept losses graciously and at the same time improve their ability to be supportive of their teammates essentially. Then last is the verbal skills. Children learn verbal skills rapidly when they interact with others in community. Mostly because they are still in their early development stage, playing games with children their same age range helps them learn new vocabulary. Based on research, these children learn how to read. This action research aims to determine the effectiveness of Marongko Cube games in enhancing phonological awareness of kindergarten learners in Sultan Dumaob Elementary School, Puna, Piagapo District, school year 2019 to 2020. Specifically, it seeks to answer the following questions. First, how do learners recognize sounds of the alphabet using Marongko Cube games? Second, how do learners relate the picture shown in the game to the initial sound of the letter? Third, how they learn to read simple words using Marongko Cube games? Fourth, does Marongko Cube game enhance participation among pupils? Then last is, what recommendation could drawn from the findings of this study? For the proposed intervention and strategy, Marongko Cube Games intervention targets to utilize the phonemic skills. The learner given 3 cubes with assorted consonants and vowels appearing on their sides. The student rules the cubes and records the resulting letter combination on a recording sheet. The student then judges whether each resulting word composed from the letters randomly appearing on the blocks is a real word or a nonsense word. Use the intervention with one student or a group. In gathering data method, this study made use of descriptive qualitative research design. It described how Marongko Cube games used among kindergarten learners to enhance their phonological awareness and a way for them to learn how to read. The result of Marongko Cube games through the strict observation of the researchers noted, and its effect on the phonological awareness of the learners presented in the findings. For data analysis plan, using Marongko Cube game, the researcher recorded the performance of the learners on how many of them have mastered reading simple word or CBCB pattern. This will show with their eagerness and their participation in the activity. For the action research work plan and timeliness, it revealed that 74.2% or 23 out of 31 pupils have mastered reading CBCB words, and only 25.8% or 8 pupils can merely read CBC words. For the results and discussion, the researcher, by utilizing the contextualized instruction through word cube games, supports the foregoing statements by her findings. First, 74.2% of the pupils learn how to read consonant-vowel words, and 25.8% of them mastered consonant-vowel words. Before, pupils can barely read the three-lettered words and had the difficulty recalling its corresponding meaning, but because of the word cube game, they can now easily associate the word with its meaning. Second, the learners become participative and are eager to learn. They become more cheerful looking and more interactive in class. The students become excited during game time and competing with one another in expressing their answers. Third, the learner's knowledge about familiar objects is further reinforced due to use of pictures with level. They learn simple words in English like fun or fun and etc. Then there is an increase in the attendance rate of the pupils. Before, pupils seemed too bored to come to class and would commit absences often. But due to the word cube game, pupils have begun to like going to class. Therefore, this study concludes that Marongko Cube games had a significant effect in enhancing the phonological awareness of the pupils. The Marongko word cube game was invented by the researcher due to her interest in contributing to the ways and methods by which educator can help little children gain the necessary skill of phonemic awareness. For the recommendation, teachers must be creative in presenting lessons, especially to young children. Second, teachers must find a way to build children's interest. Third, teachers must be able to detect if her students are losing interest in the lesson. Next, teachers should not prolong the discussion or teaching because children have a short attention span. Fifth, teacher must be able to detect if students has problem with auditory or visual skill which affect their learning. Next, teachers should not be afraid to experiment with use of creative games to enhance their pupil learning. Teachers should base their lesson and their activity with the psychomotor skill of the pupil and their learning capabilities. Teachers should always check the progress of her pupils and transition from easy to difficult and nor the other way around. Teachers should be resourceful to be an effective teacher. Then last, teacher should infuse creativity in her classroom and should always make learning fun and not dull.